Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to lesson 21. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. First we go to lesson 20 questions, so L2 to L20Q. And first exercise was to write the following sentences. Mahmoud rasama kalban. Muhammad drew a dog. Faris rasama qalaman aswad. Faris drew a black dog. So aswad is black. Habiba rasamat jamalan. Habiba drew a camel. Maryam rasamat hisanan abyad. Maryam drew a white horse. Abyad is white. Mahmoud hasaba kutuban, plural of kitab, of books. Mahmoud counted books. Maryam hasabat awraqan, and she counted papers. Waraq, awraq. Rasama rasamat, so Maryam rasamat, Mahmoud rasama, Mahmoud rasamat sayyara, wa Maryam rasamat kursiyan. حبيبة رسمت بقرة وفارس رسم بطة. فارس رسم خيمة وحبيبة رسمت حديقة. مريم رسمت قرى وحبيبة رسمت فأرا, a mouse. Rearrange the words. عند فارس ورق. فارس رسم فارس قطارا, trains, he drew trains. محمود رسم قردا, he drew monkeys. Habiba rasamat ash-shams. Habiba drew the sun. Inda Maryam qalam. With Maryam is pen. Faris, this is using the Maldi, past tense, shariba or sharibat. Faris shariba al-ma, he drank water. Layla akalat, ate mawza, she ate a banana, the banana. Maryam dakhalat ad-dar, she entered the lesson. Mahmoud qara'a, he read, recited the Quran. Kamal kharaja min al-masjid, he exited, left the masjid. Maryam wasalat, and usually wasalat will be with ila. Wasala or wasalat ila, to. Maryam arrived to the house, al-bayt. Yasir kataba ismahu, he wrote his name. Muhammad la'iba ma'a Kamal, Muhammad played with Kamal. And finally, Sophia hasabat al-khayma, she counted the tent. So that's the homework from last time, the answers to it. And now we go on to lesson 21, and this is now طيارة ورقية, adjective describing طيارة. طيارة is the kite, can also mean plane. Kite, so the paper kite. عندي ورق وخيوط, I have with me. عندي, when you saw indaka, indahu, indaha, indi, with me, or I have. Indi waraqun wa khuyutun, I have with me is a paper and khayt, strings, and strings, the plural, khuyut. Ibrahim sana'a, the first verb, and again it's all maldi, to make. Ibrahim made. طيارة من ورق, he made a kite from paper. He made a paper kite. Kite from paper. Khalil ربط, to bind, tie. Khalil, he binded, he tied. What did he tie? الطيارة, the kite. الطيارة, the kite, with the alif lam there. بالخيط, with the string. Alright, so he binded the kite with the string. Ba, there is the with also. With, through. With or through the string. الطيارة طارت. So this is a verb, طارة. So because it's saying الطيارة, we can see it's a feminine word. We're going to bring the feminine version. الطيارة طارت, the kite flew. This is to fly, past tense. Flew in the past. في الهواء, in the sky. الطيارة طارت في الهواء, it flew in the sky. ذيل الطيارة, so this is possession, this tail. Tail of the kite, the kite's tail. One possesses the other. The kite's tail. ذيل الطيارة. You can see there's no alif lam there. Alif lam, it's not joined anything. This one is without any alif lam. This one has to be in that form without an alif lam. And here we have the alif lam form, so we're specifying of something. The kite's tail. The kite's tail is, and we're just saying something about it. So طويل can also be used as an adjective. Here it's not used as an adjective, but here we're saying is the kite's tail is long. الطيارة, the kite. See the alif lam. الطيارة لها, the lam is a possession. لها, it has, for it. The طيارة, for it, is, it has, it possesses. ذيل طويل. So we can see the tanween, the two dhammas is following it. This is finally now a adjective. Right in the beginning that this one follows that. This is also an adjective to describing the tail. For it, it has a الطيارة, the kite, for it, or it has طويل ضيل طويل, a long tail. A long tail. ذيل الطيارة. So we're again still talking about ذيل the طيارة, the kite's tail. The kite's tail is, now we're describing it in the two colors we've seen before, أحمر being red and أزرق being blue. ليلى شاهدت. شاهد will be the male. Bilal شاهد, he watched, he saw, is to watch, to see. Layla saw, Layla watched, Layla observed. Layla شاهدت الطيارة, she observed, she watched the kite في السماء. Sorry, I said Hawa, here is in the air. Hawa is air, السماء is sky. It flew in the air, the kite flew in the air. Layla watched the kite in the sky. And finally here, same two sentences, just trying to explain the difference between ma and inda once again. Noor لعبت, she played. لعبت, past tense. We've seen يلعبوا and تلعبوا, that's the مضارع, which I'm going to come into next. Noor لعبت بالطيارة, she played with the kite. مع كمال and عند الحديقة. So you can see مع with Kamal, here's a participation. Ma is good there. With Kamal, she played with the kite. Here, Noor played with the kite. عند الحديقة, with the garden. So at the place of the garden, at the garden. So you can see the difference there. So ma would be used more with a person, as opposed to عند when you're trying to say something is with somebody or they're at a certain place. Then we use عند. So that's today's comprehension. And now we're going to Madi and Mudari, the two verb forms, and I'll bring that up next. So Madi is the past tense. It's about an action that's happened already in the past. It's happened and it's done and it's finished. Whereas Mudari is a action that is happening at that moment. It's in the present. So some verbs we've come across in the mudari sense quite a bit in the past. Now we'll use the Maldi versions of it as well. And we can see how they look at, how they both form side by side. So, fi'l is the verb. Ism was the noun, fi'l is the verb. And that goes into Maldi. ماضي ماضٍ مضارع الماضي, let's call it الماضي المضارع. And we have a third one which we're not really going to cover today, but we know that there is al-amr, which is command. Al-amr. So this is present tense. This is past tense. and this is in order. I will not even refer to the amr today. Don't want to confuse anything. We'll just look at madi and mudari. So we said fi'l. So fi'l is the verb fa'ala, means to do. So we have fa'ala, in the mudari sense, fa'ala, how it's got a ya at the beginning. So just to make it clear, we are talking about huwa. We bring verbs, introduce verbs in the masculine singular third person form. Huwa, he. Huwa fa'ala, he did. You can see the same three root letters. Fa'ala, the fa, the ayn and the lam. Yaf'alu. How they come? Sometimes the middle will have a fatha, sometimes a kasra, sometimes a dhamma. That is just, as you learn it, you get used to it. Yaf'alu, how the Arabs did it. Fa'ala, yaf'alu. He did, he is doing. Yaf'alu, in the present tense, that's the past tense. So let's bring some more examples of that. And I'll write in, I'll bring the feminine versions in a second, but let's just get some verbs up there first. So we've seen, alright, kataba, qara'a, qara'a, kharaja, dakhala, la'iba, shariba, akala, fataha, nadara. I will leave it for those 8 for now. So I'll just bring the root letters across. First of all, adding the harakat, the vowels on it. Kataba, qara'a, kharaja, dakhala, la'iba, shariba, akala, fataha, nadara. I'll just write the same to show the root letters. Sheen, Ra and Ba, Hamza, Kaf and Lam, Fa, Ta and Ha, Noon, Dha and Ra, Kaf, Ta and Ba, Qaf, Ra and Hamza, Kha, Ra and Jim, Dal, Kha and Lam, and finally Lam, Ain and Ba. So what we're looking at is bringing the Ya in this case. Normally for feminine we bring the Ta in, but let's just keep to the Ya this time. So we can bring the Ya to all of them. You can see how it's gone from a madi to a mudari, and it's as simple as that. then we have the sakin in the next part. So that is always the case. Sakin there, sakin there, sakin there, sakin there, sakin there, sakin. Sorry, it's on the. So it's on the first letter of the three. We're putting a sakin on. It's not going to make a sound. And the beginning one, it doesn't necessarily have to have a fatha, but in majority of the cases that we're looking at is going to have a fatha. Yak, yak, yakh, yad, yal, yash, ya, yaf, and yan. And then what happens in the middle ones, the end ones, they all change to grammar. I don't really introduce grammar. I'm not going to do that at this present time. So we're just going to pretend that there's no change. So it's going to have, now just, so that changes according to grammar. Depends what is before the operator and how it's changing the word in front, the verb in front. The middle one, that is just how we have taken from the Arabs, how they've done it. Kataba yaktubu. Yeah, you want me yaktabu. You want me yaktibu. Yaktubu. Yakra'u. So you can see a dhamma there, fatha there. Kharaja yakhruju. There's a dhamma there again. Yadkhulu. Yal'abu. Okay, so far we have got a kasra. Yashrabu. Yakulu. Yaftahu. Yanzuru. Okay, so none of these have a kasra. They will come. And that's how we take it. So that's kataba yaktubu. And it's kind of like memorizing like that. Kataba yaktubu. Dakhala yadkhulu. Fataha yaftuhu. Yaftahu, sorry. So let's just go over that. Kataba yaktubu. Qara'a yakra'u. Kharaja yakhruju. Dakhala yadkhulu. La'iba yal'abu. Shariba yashrabu. Akala ya'kulu. Fataha yaftahu. Nadara yanduru. So in the future I'm going to bring a verb in. So here's nadara. I'll bring the noon, dal, ra. I'm going to introduce a verb, nadara. And I'll have a dash, yanzuru. So to introduce any future verbs, I'll do it like that. So then you gotta memorize that and understand. Nadara yanduru, nadara yanduru. That's how it's gonna be. So whenever you need to write in that form, you'll use yanduru. You'll remember from the which verb am I doing? Oh, nadara. It comes with yanduru. So then you write with yanduru, and you write in Arabic then. So nadara yanduru to see. So most of these you know. I'm not gonna explain any of them. And that's it. So, but if it was to do with a the feminine version, that would just be ta, taktubu, taqra'u, takhruju. Nothing else changes. Tadkhulu. This is for the hiya. We would just be looking at the huwa. But if it was hiya, taktubu, taqra'u, takhruju, tadkhulu, tal'abu, tashrabu. Everything's the same. Ta'kulu, taftahu, tanzuru. And then here, I'll use with the opposite. We've seen at the end we just add a ta. Kata, but with a sakin. Is that simple one? Kara, at, khara, jat. Because it's joining the jim. Dakhalat, la'ibat, sharibat, akalat. As you can see, nothing changes except just the addition of the ta and the sakin on top. Fatahat, again the tail goes off, this is joining. Fatahat and nadarat. So join me next time for lesson 21.